If you're an online seller, you know the fear. Waking up to find your payment account has been suspended, it's a total nightmare. But, for merchants in what are called high-risk industries, it's not just a nightmare, it's a constant threat. So today, we're going to dive into a solution that's designed to protect that revenue stream. It's a WooCommerce plugin called CODARAB Payment.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your online revenue stream actually protected from being shut down, like overnight? For a lot of e-commerce entrepreneurs, especially if you're in certain niches, the honest answer is probably a very nervous no.
Okay, so before we can even talk about a fix, we have to get a really clear picture of the problem. Let's break down the risk that online sellers are facing and get into why these payment accounts, especially PayPal, can just suddenly get banned.
And look, this isn't some hypothetical what-if situation for everyone. It's a daily reality for merchants in sectors that payment processors call high risk. IPTV services are a perfect example. For these business owners, the idea of an account suspension isn't some far-off possibility. It's always there, kind of hanging over their heads.
Now, what's really wild is how frighteningly simple this whole process is. It's like a domino effect. First, you sell a product, and its name has a word that an algorithm might flag, something like IPTV. Then boom, PayPal's automated system scans that transaction and spots the keyword. And just like that, you're at step 3. Your account gets flagged and possibly suspended. Your entire income stream just frozen.
All right, so that's the problem. A super fast, automated process that puts your entire business on the line. So let's switch gears from the problem to the solution. Let's talk about this plugin, CODARAB Payment.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, in the simplest terms, CODARAB Payment is a plugin for your WooCommerce store. It cleverly uses the official PayPal API to handle payments, but, and this is the most important part, it's built from the ground up to minimize that risk of getting suspended, especially for those high-risk businesses we've been talking about.
Okay, so that's what it claims to do. But how does it actually protect you? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the key features to see how they fight back against the risks we just laid out.
So, the first line of defense is just brilliant because it's so simple. It masks the product names on the transaction itself. Remember that automated algorithm we talked about, the one that kicks off the whole suspension chain reaction? Well, this feature is designed to fly right under its radar.
And you can see exactly how it works right here. A normal PayPal receipt might say, plain as day, IPTV 12-month subscription. That's a huge red flag for any algorithm. But with the CODARAB Payment plugin, that receipt gets anonymized. All the customer's receipt shows is a generic name, like order number WXC58392. That risky keyword is just gone, and the transaction looks like any other boring, normal online purchase. The next layer of protection is all about controlling the way people pay you. The plugin actually lets you turn off that familiar yellow Pay with PayPal button at checkout. Now I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would I want to do that?
Well, it all comes down to risk. See, payments made directly from a customer's PayPal account balance tend to have a much higher rate of disputes and chargebacks. It's just easier for a customer to file a dispute that way. So by removing that specific option, you're actively lowering your dispute rate, and that's another huge factor in keeping your account healthy.
So here's what that actually looks like. A standard checkout usually gives you 2 big options, pay by card or log into PayPal. The CODARAB checkout streamlines this to make things safer for you, the seller. It takes away the PayPal login button and instead guides customers to pay securely with their cards. Visa, MasterCard, you name it, all still processed through the PayPal API. Now you might be worried that getting rid of one button means you're making things harder for your customers, but that's not the case at all. Let's talk about the flexibility and control this system still gives you, making sure the checkout is still simple for the buyer and super secure for you.
And here's the best part. You're not sacrificing your customer's convenience to get this security. Because the plugin is using PayPal's powerful API, your customers still get all the modern, secure payment options they expect. Credit and debit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, even other local payment methods. It's really the best of both worlds. A smooth checkout for them and real peace of mind for you.
Okay, so what about on your end? Actually getting paid. You've got options here too. You can connect a personal PayPal account and get your money instantly, but the recommendation is to use a business account. And the reason's pretty simple. A business account just gives you more advanced tools that are built for merchants, so you have better ways to manage your money and your operations.
All right, so we've looked at the problem, that sudden algorithm-driven suspension, and we've taken a deep dive into a solution that's designed to fix it, feature by feature. So that really brings us to the next step, which is thinking about how you can secure your own business for the long haul.
And that really boils down to one final crucial question for any seller in this spot. Now that you've seen how these risks can be managed, are you ready to actually take control and lock down the most important part of your business, your revenue stream?
So, if you're tired of walking on eggshells and constantly worrying about that suspension notice, this solution might be exactly what you've been looking for. For all the details, you can check out the official website at CODARAB.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.